there's only one time to do this. You have one life to live. And during this pandemic, this is the time to really become the best version of yourself, to reinvent yourself, to pivot, to figure out what you're going to do next in order to make a positive impact, not just in this world, but for yourself in order to be a positive impact for other people around you. So stay positive during this time. Don't allow people with their negative thoughts and actions to, hinder you from being the best version of yourself. Get in the zone, get in the tunnel vision. And the tunnel vision, when people say you have tunnel vision, it's usually negative. But this tunnel vision is going to lead you to such great feats and accomplishments that you won't even understand right now. So those tough times that you want to eat something or go have a drink or not do a workout, you have to constantly motivate yourself and you have to just fight through it. And when you do those 30 days, even when you do those 21 days, it'll start building habits through that time. And if you're doing the 75 like Jay, you'll start seeing remarkable benefits on the mental health side of things that you won't even understand. When my house burned down this January, that next day I went for a run. And people might say, bro, you're wild and that's crazy. And I said, no, this is something that's non-negotiable for me. This is something that keeps me sharp, something that's going to keep me on top of my game. We got contractors the day after, we got insurance all sorted out, and we started to rebuild as soon as we could. And I really, truly account that to, yes, a lot my wife being a savage and handling a lot of it, but me being in the right mind space in order to operate during stressful times.
Hey, it's a new world, gotta adapt to it. Innovation, information, more than the average. Rushing, please ignore the interruptions, cause this is digital discussions.
Brian, welcome to the Kids for Kids and the St. Jude 30-day level up challenge, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
of course, man. So this group here is filled with a bunch of folks that are obviously supporting a great cause. A lot of them happen to be in the commercial real estate space across the country because it's where I spend the bulk of my time, obviously. And I want to say, Brian, that my fitness journey and just personal development journey, which is definitely started a lot with my fitness journey, is definitely majorly impacted by your influence in my life. So when I think about influencers and that word in general, in some ways it sounds so superficial, but in other ways it's like accountability and watching somebody that is breaking through barriers and not stopping when their brain's telling them to stop because they know their body could push that much further. Can you tell this group a little bit about your background in business, in life, and how the hell you built this personal brand that's associated with such other amazing brands, and how you've continued to be an athlete pushing boundaries?
Yeah. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I feel like my DNA is an athlete. Physically, I was a very, very good athlete. Won national championship with our soccer team, U16 level. Went and played at the University of Rhode Island, got a full scholarship for soccer. So on the physical side of things, I had everything, but I lacked a lot of the mental toughness. And sometimes that's more important in order to achieve greatness and becoming a professional and going on there. So that's where I failed in taking my talent to the next real level, real deal level. And I actually quit my senior year in college over a stupid argument with my coach. I was supposed to get on a plane to go to Clemson and play, and I just never got on the plane. Really bad mistake, but I learned a lot from that. So I didn't really know what I was going to learn from that lesson until I got into my later 20s. When I'm actually in my early 30s when I was asked to try out for the Red Bulls. 12 years too late. I don't know why they asked me when I was 31. But it was a very big eye opener for me. And just to go back a little bit, so I quit, made a stupid mistake, whatever. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my degree. I studied communications, got a communications degree. And, just by having some family connections in the city, I started out at a clothing company, wholesale merchandising for Barney Sacks and Bloomingdale's for a clothing company. I think I was making $22,000 a year right out of school, which I thought was a lot of money, and everything was great. And my sister was a very prominent hair colorist in New York City, and one of her clients worked a door at a nightclub in the Hamptons called Dune, and she needed an assistant. So my sister signed me up for that without even telling me. She said, I know you want to make more money. I know you don't mind to work. And I think this could be a really fun opportunity for you to learn and get out in the Hamptons and network. So I took the job, and I really fell in love with the nightlife business. I was her assistant. I worked outside of the door with her. And my role was, when you came to the club, I would meet you. I'd get to know you very, very briefly, and I would take you to your table and introduce you to your bottle server.
I remember the days vividly, man. That's when we met. Yeah.
Exactly. So with doing that, I probably met every single important person in any industry in the world during those summers. And I was like, wow, I'm meeting the head of Nike, the head of this, the head of that, Jay-Z, Rihanna, boom, boom, boom. Like the list went on. And I was having face-to-face interaction with these people. And I was blown away by how I was able to service them and make them happy in such a very short period of time. And it never felt like a job for me. So that's when I met my business partner, Matt, and at the time. And he just saw that I worked really hard and gave me an opportunity to continue to grow at that position. And I finally ran that position at the nightclub. And, then we did that for a long time, a period over 10 years we were out in the Hamptons. But prior to that, coming back, the Hamptons is only a seasonal business. So we started a brand called the Ainsworth. And that became a really well-known national sports bar brand in New York City. Probably one of the most successful sports bars to ever be around at one point. And I recently left 2 years ago to pursue other passions, but being in the hospitality industry, I really had every single industry, whether it is commercial real estate or residential real estate or any field at my fingertips, and all of those people at my fingertips. So when I was an assistant for Rachel Yucatel in the Hamptons, I always, no matter what, always said yes to people. I was 22 years old. If you wanted coffee in the morning, I would go eat coffee. If you wanted bagels, I'd get you bagels. You want your dry cleaning done, I'll drop your dry cleaning off. You want to work out, let's work out. You want to play with football, let's go play with football. So I was always known as that kid who had so much energy and wanted to work and have fun. And I was always really reliable. So
how much, just to chime in for a second, how much at the time when you were doing that and you were saying yes, how much of that did you think would pay off in the future from a connection standpoint? Were you mindful of that, or were you just saying yes?
I don't think I had enough experience to be that mindful, but I knew that I liked to please people. And that's what I think I thrived on. Also, they let me drive their cars too. And there was like convertible, Porsche convertible. So I would like to drive it. But besides that, it was just an opportunity that I was the likability factor was huge for me there. People were drawn to me for that sense. I was fit. People wanted to hang out with me and work out and do that sense. So I was getting just a bunch of positive, positive engagement from people, so I really enjoyed it. And then when I came back to the city and we created the Ainsworth, that's when it really started to elevate, my status in the hospitality world and connection. So we did that. We created that brand. We grew that brand to 8 properties across the country. And the brands are still operating now in New York. I don't know how through the pandemic. It's wild, but that's what we did. We built a really strong hospitality brand, and we really try to just please people. And I think that's what I try to do now in my personal brand is I really try to help people as much as possible, unlock their full potential. And once I left the hospitality industry, I created a company called High Performance Lifestyle Training. And this business right now is actually getting crushed with the pandemic, but it all goes to hand in hand with, I created a brand after the Ainsworth called High Performance Lifestyle Training, but leveraged my personal brand, Brian Mazza, on Instagram and work with all these brands that can work together. So I always wanted to create a company that if one arm of the company wasn't doing well, the other arm would be able to sustain and continue to grow no matter what, and vice versa.
Diversification.
So, exactly. So, just because the pandemic is hurting us right now on the on the performance event side, I'm still able to advise, consult, invest, and do stuff on the Brian Mazza side, which goes hand in hand together.
So yeah, so I've been with you kind of through that transition, which was, all pre-pandemic. So, interesting to watch you adjust and really become more of like a lifestyle entrepreneur, right? Your background's in so many different things, right? Fitness, fashion, obviously hospitality, and everything that I've seen you set out to do, like your mindset makes you unstoppable, right? Like, and I think that if anybody here has watched Brian's like fitness journey, uh, it's freakish in nature. I mean, the shit that you put yourself through. But it's again, it's like, even you, when we were having conversations like a couple years ago, and we were talking about running, like I could see in your eyes that you had fear of like running long distances and whatnot. And I saw you actually like questioning yourself, which is interesting for me to see, because I look up to you when I set a goal, a fitness goal or something. I'm like, I'm exhausted, I don't feel like doing it. I know that you would laugh and be like, just do it, man. Like, how do you,
Like
mindset?
I'm human, right? So like I definitely have insecurities and I definitely have fear of doing certain things. Like, I if I was on this talking to you guys right now and being like, I'm going to crush this 50-mile thing, I would first of all sound like an idiot. And second of all, I'd be lying. Am I nervous? And am I kind of crapping my pants about it? 100%. Because 50 miles, it's not, it's almost 2 marathons, right? Like, I don't know if anyone on here has ever run a marathon, but when you get to that like 22-mile mark, your body really starts to go through some things that's not really used to. Your energy is usually burned down. Your hydration is usually, compromised. And once things start to get compromised, and you start thinking about it, it's pretty much too late in your journey. So, am I definitely nervous about it? 100%. Will I get it done? 100%. But it's going to be hard. So when we were first talking about running, like I hated running. I didn't understand why people really did it. I was like, why are people just like running? And it really dawned on me since the pandemic. I think I logged over like 1,400 miles since March running, that people don't really know how to run. And I was one of those people. People think, let's just go run 5 miles or 3 miles, 2 miles, and people just go. And that's the total wrong approach to it. So I'm taking more of a scientific approach to this and to running by running off of a certain heart rate, running off an aerobic capacity heart rate where I'm using different energy levels to run. And these are things like you don't really learn or know unless you have a coach or unless you really research. So I've really taught myself how to run in very low heart rate zones. So this Saturday I ran 18 miles in a heart rate zone of 144, very, very comfortable heart rate. And I ran it at an 850 pace. And it was very, very doable and manageable. So that's the key to the game, is getting to your heart rate to a certain level where you can function. And that's not just has to do with the running. The key to operating in stressful situations is having a very, very low heart rate. And I know that running and fitness have done more for me mentally than it has done for me physically. And that's a good transition right now, because there's very stressful times going on for people, whether it's pandemic, losing your job, the election, who you voted for, whatever. There's stressful times. Everyone is stressed out right now. But I feel like through my running training and my breathing training that I'm able to manage certain situations like this, because I'm able to operate in a very less stressed situation. And my heart rate doesn't really elevate, and I'm able to stay very even keel through some of these really stressful times. And I've learned that through fitness, but apply that to every other area of my life.
So it's interesting, because right when the shit started getting real funky for me, I threw myself into 75 hard, which, for me, if I'm on a routine, I'm able to kind of just stay super focused. And, the elimination of alcohol is something that's worked wonders for me also. A lot of these folks are 9 days into the 30-day challenge. I'm knocking on day 60 right now for 75 hard. And I'm starting to realize all of these long-term benefits that I'll be able to use moving forward. And a lot of that has been, again, just like a clarity that I didn't have before I started this journey. So I think a lot of what you're
Yeah,
saying, I
you're
can apply.
100% right. I mean, I'm coming up 6 years, January, not drinking. Like, I mean, I spoke to you before, like I had 2 sips of my wife's Camus the other night because I wanted to try the wine, but I don't drink. And I don't drink for the mere factor that I want to be able to operate at a very high octane level 24/7. And that is just the bottom line. That is the reason why I don't drink. I didn't have a problem. Do I miss having a drink? Sure. But there's a lot more on the line for me. I get up at 4:30 every single morning. I'm in bed at 8, 8:39 every single night. And I have to have a routine. I have 2 little boys that get up. I am a firm believer that I need to set my boys up for success before they start their day. Their bottles are prepped, their bottles are prepared, they're warm, they're ready to go, their breakfast is ready. I want them to get off on the right foot every single day. And I've taught myself how to get off on the right foot every single day. The world is not high fives and picnics, and I know that. But I know when my routine is consistent and when I'm treating myself the best way possible. And I think you guys need to understand this. If you're 6 days in and your responsibility is not to drink right now, and your responsibility is to hit certain deliverables of this program, people are not going to be in your corner. People are going to question you. My wife questioned me when I stopped drinking. My friends called me a loser. People didn't want, I owned bars. I owned nightclubs. I was supposed to be out till 4 in the morning. And now we were making great money, but there was a lot more to life than that. And I think what you have to understand, and you need to really get this branded into your brain, it is not selfish for what you're doing right now. It is selfless. And you need to understand that because you are now I'm talking about Transformers since my son wears a fucking Bumblebee costume every day. It's not Halloween. But you're transforming your mind and your body to understand certain things. And you are becoming the best version of yourself in order to be the best husband, the best wife, the best friend, the best dad, the best whatever. You have to start with you. And you need to understand that. So if your wife or husband's giving you a hard time because you're not drinking, if your friends are giving you a hard time because you're not drinking, just take it, wear it on your chin, say, you're right, I'm a loser, whatever. But guess what? Within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when you've lost that weight, when you're doing all these things, when you have more energy, and they're hungover and they're this and that, they're going to say, what were you doing again? You're doing that 75 hard? Wait, why did you do that? Oh, wow, you look great. Wow. Oh my God. You're more focused. Wow, you got a promotion? Oh my God. And then you start to be the man or the woman. And then they start to understand, like, whoa, I guess what you did was right. And you will always know that. Will the times get hard? Will they get difficult? Will they get a little annoying? Sure. But you have to fight the urge and you have to understand there's a lot more on the line than having that drink.
Facts. I have the benefit of being able to speak to Brian frequently. I don't want to hog him up here, so I want to open it up since we don't have a tremendous group. We could do this in an organized fashion. My man, Digital Jeff, had a question. There he is.
What's up, Brian? So good to see you, man.
See you, buddy.
I remember the first time that I met you in person, it was when you opened the Ainsworth in Newark, and you had this rooftop party, and everybody was drinking, and you were drinking a bottle of water. And I remember asking you, dude, you don't drink? You're like, bro, I don't drink. And I remember you told me, like, your famous quote.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yes, and that always stuck with me. And I just want to say thank you, man, for the inspiration. I follow your page daily. I know you're a friend, but also just from afar, seeing you, what you've been able to accomplish in the last 3 years has been amazing. And I just want to wish you the best of luck. I'm going to keep supporting whatever you're doing. And I do want to know if you actually have a running program that we can follow so we can learn what you've learned.
Yeah, I do. So I have an app on the Playbook platform. It's actually called the Nothing Changes If Nothing Changes platform on there. And there is a slow heart rate one that is more moderate beginner level, which is only like 45 miles for the month. And then there's an advanced one, same heart rate pace, just 90 miles for the month. So yeah, it's on there. It's $1 to sign up, and then you can go from there. But this will really teach you. It teaches you a lot. And I think running is such a very therapeutic thing for people because I mean, I think about so many crazy things on my run, so many ideas, so many business ideas, so many things I want to get done. But the slow heart rate, it's going to be very hard in the beginning. It's going to be very monotonous and you're going to feel like you're literally dragging your feet. But by the end of the program, you'll probably shave like 2-3 minutes off your mile and you'll
Wow.
be in a comfortable state and it won't be stressful. And there's nothing better than running past someone on the street when you're moving really fast and you're not even sweating and your heart rate is just, you're calm and you can take a call. So that's what I love to do. But check out the app and you'll be able to see it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. You're the man. So I'm actually, guys, I'm dropping in the chat. Brian just had his new line just dropped with 10,000 clothing line. So some really,
Yeah, the hoodie just dropped. You can see it.
yeah, there you go. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I'm definitely going to get up in there after this chat here. Krista, I know you have a question for Brian. Are you unmuted?
What's up, guys? I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Brian, thank you so much for taking the time today. I've been following you pretty closely. I think you are a good friend of my pal, Sam Tooley. I worked for him for a hot minute at Alpha Fit Club. We grew up together, went to high school together, and he's doing pretty big things and has inspired me to go off and launch my own gym, which is how I think I don't know if Jack Brennan's on the line, but he got me connected with Jay. So I appreciate following you out there on Instagram and supporting other people who I've got to see their vision really grow and just explode. So my question for you is, if you look at your Instagram bio, right, you've got like 5-6 brands listed right there that you are somehow affiliated, invested in, partnering with, and maybe a founder for. And as somebody who is, slowly starting to grow their presence online, I have a lot of different companies who reach out to me about brand partnerships and sponsorships. So I would just love to get your insight on how you think about who you're going to partner with and in what capacity, because I think now with the presence of media and social media and the internet, it's really easy to come across one thing, really love that brand, and then before you know it, something else super cool comes along and you might be in a situation where there's an exclusivity issue. So do you operate with your contracts with non-exclusivity rights, or how do you kind of think about that?
Well, great question and nice to meet you. And congratulations for opening your own studio in June.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, I've been doing this for a pretty long time. I wish my page was bigger and I had more reach and everything. But I've been shooting content like this since 2013, 2014. And in the beginning, I didn't really fully understand the content game and how this was going to actually lead me to where I am now. But I knew that I really loved to take fitness photos and have fun with it. And everything was really organic for me that way. And it was just something that I did. I was an athlete. So it was very easy for me to do these certain movements and pictures and I was in good shape. So it was very simple in that fact. But then that led me to becoming, I guess, relatable for a lot of these brands. I owned a hospitality company. I was in shape. I was doing this and that. So they wanted to kind of, piggyback off me in a sense. And in the beginning, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just taking brand deals. And I was taking like, 1 or 2 post deals and going from that and seeing where that would take me. But as I was getting more experience in the field and working with bigger brands, I totally understood. I started to understand the business side of things. So as I was getting approached by Volvos, as I was getting approached by American Express, Vital Proteins, I just signed a 3-year deal with Vital Proteins. The only way that I'll ever sign an exclusive with a brand is obviously if the money is right. That's the only way and only time you should do it. If you think the money is lucrative enough, if you think that money is going to put you in a better position, that is the only time to sign an exclusive deal on this front. Because there's 5 million Brian Mazzas out there on Instagram. There really are. And there's probably 20 million that have bigger followings and are way better than what I do. So what I've also leveraged, like I said prior, my HPLT business and my Brian Mazza business, is they don't just hire me now. I'm kind of in my own position. They don't hire me now just to produce content. That is like not even what really matters to them anymore. They hire me to advise on certain products for them, get on advisory boards for them, invest in their companies also. And sometimes I also trade equity for the deal. So some of these brands, I'll say, don't even pay me. just whatever the deal, say if the deal is worth $200,000, I'll say, take the $200,000 as part of that deal and put it into stock options and give me equity into your company. If I feel like that company is going to have legs. So that's how I operate with deals now. I will never take a deal just to post. If there's something that I'm posting, like I did something for ASICs today, that's because I'm doing a race. But other deals, if it's a one-off post, it has to be a very pretty penny for me to do that. But I like to use my different experiences and talents to help with these companies. So a lot of these companies know that now. A lot of the companies are smart enough. They Google everybody. They have data analytics now to figure out who you really are, what you do, what you've done in your past, and how you can help them. And I think any advice that you could take as you now are becoming a new business owner, you've had that experience of creating a business. You've had that experience of going through maybe the legal side of things, the real estate side of things. You wear many different hats and you probably don't even understand that yet. So when you speak to companies, you need to let them know that and say, hey, I can offer way more than just this post or wearing this brand. Let me come in and do a seminar for your group. Let me come and do this for your group. And that's how you could tack on the $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 extra part of the deal. And when the companies, believe me, they have the money, and they will do that if you can offer all these other things that you've done in your life.
Great advice. Guys, anybody else want to jump in here? Anyone have a question for, there he is, Jack.
All right. What is up? Hey, Krista, thanks for the shout out, by the way. But Brian, nice to meet you, man.
Hey,
I guess the question on the routine, really respect that you're, a father and that's a priority and you're doing the 4:30 thing. Can you kind of share with us what that routine looks like for you? I don't know when your kids get up, but what are you doing before that?
Okay. So I try to get into bed. So I'll start how we should start this. Do you want to start my nighttime routine into the morning, or you want me to start in the morning and then through?
I'm a big proponent of the morning and making sure that I get off on the right foot. So I'm curious what you're doing from 4:30 when you get up until maybe your kids get up.
Sure. So I knew that when I was going to be a dad, that I wanted to be a certain dad. I was very fortunate enough to have a phenomenal rock star father who's still alive. It was just unbelievable. So I wanted to be 10% of what he was. So whenever we were able to conceive and have kids, I said, you know what, I'm going to start setting a certain tone for the way I want my kids to see me, and I want my kids to operate in this house. So I always was an early riser. I always wasn't a 4:30 riser. But do you have kids at all or no?
No.
Okay. When you have kids, and I'm sure
there's no excuses.
If you have kids, your time becomes extremely limited. So I knew that I needed to get up at a certain time for Brian's time. And Brian's time meant meditating, having my coffee, going to the bathroom, doing my thing, and spending the time uninterrupted for myself for at least an hour and a half. So that meant for me to get up before my whole house got up, do my routine, set my kids up for the day to have a successful day. And this is when it was one kid. So when it was one kid, Leo was getting up at say 7 a.m. Now he gets up at 6:30. So I had to adjust my schedule to get up 30 minutes early so I could still have my time. So when I'm up, I'll still have to maybe get up and feed Luke really quickly and put him back to bed, which is no problem. But his bottle's prepared. So it's like no stress for me. It's just boom, no stress for him. I hear him cry, bottle, boom, bed, back to bed. So my routine starts there. So within those hour and a half or 2 hours that I get for myself, I'm having a coffee, doing my thing, checking emails, meditating, catching up on SportsCenter if I want to just see who played the night before or whatever. But I've already answered so many of my emails for the day that when people get up at 6:37, I've already answered their email and proposed something or whatever. So my day's already set. And I had the luxury and still have the luxury of training at my gym, my home gym, or running. So then I'll take Leo to school because I always wanted to be that dad to take his kid to school. So I'll take Leo to school, I come back, and then I go run. And that's, again, my time. But that's when I can, take calls, and that's, there's my buddy right now. Hi, buddy. Take calls and do whatever I need to do on these runs and operate at that level in a slow heart rate zone so I could still do my call or whatever. So that's just my morning routine. And then I come back and Now it's just all crazy with the pandemic, who's coming home from school, blah, 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 who's at the house. We had a house fire actually this past January. We lost our home. We had to rebuild it. So we still have contractors in and out, certain days here. But that is the morning routine. And it's very crucial for you to get your morning routine down, because that will set you up for so many successful days that lead to more successful days. And it starts with small wins. So if you're having trouble getting up at a certain time, say if you want to get up at 6 and you can't get up at 6, set your alarm clock maybe 10 minutes earlier, right? Or do what you have to do. Start very small and let those compound wins grow, and grow. And then you'll start getting that routine. But it really starts, I don't know if you drink at night at all or anything, but it has to, you're doing the program. So you're stopping now. So it should be easier for you to get up with your morning routine.
Right. And I appreciate you sharing it, because I find that that's the time where I get to be proactive. But once everyone's awake and then responding to everything, then you kind of switch into having to be a little bit more reactionary. So it's harder to kind of carve that out.
I like to beat everybody to the punch. I like to just be ahead of it. And that's it, So that's why it's very important for me to have my time and get everything I need to really get done. I would like to, I always wanted to work out at 4:30 in the morning. I just never had the real drive to do it at that time, to be honest. I wish I could get up 4, go work out, and then start my day, but I don't have the drive to do it that early.
What time are you typically working out?
Like 9 in the morning.
Yeah. So you're getting other stuff out of the way to create the space for you to work.
Yeah. So I get everything done that's, paramount and it needs to be handled. And I take my kid to school. I usually take Leo to school in my workout equipment. So all the dads love my tights. And when I drop him off, I'm usually in what I'm going to wear for the session training. So, I'll even have my heart rate monitor on under my stuff, and then drop him off, drive right back. Then I'm, on my journey running.
Awesome. Jeff, you jumping back in on diet?
Yeah, I want to know. I mean, I guess you don't have to go into details, but you do a lot of cardio, you run a lot of miles. Like, what kind of diet do you follow to optimize your body, man? Because I feel like you're breaking down your body daily. What do you got? What are you eating, man? What are you taking, supplements and everything?
Sure. So I drink a bunch of collagen water. And I drink a gallon of water a day. So there's certain non-negotiables for me in my life, right? So I need to have a gallon of water a day. I need to eat clean. So clean protein, salad, avocados, a lot of healthy fats. And it's life. It seems boring when you are so consistent with all of these things, but it's really not boring. Once you get in that routine and that consistent positive flow, it's literally like you have a Ferrari and you're just tuning it up all the time. And that's what you're doing. And then when you fray out of that, that's when you can really feel like, oh my God, wow, I shouldn't have eaten that, or shouldn't have had that to drink, and my body's not reacting well. Your body is such a temple and such a high performing machine that when you put the right stuff in your body, it's going to operate at such a high octane level. It's really remarkable. I mean, you see these athletes and you see these people that are constantly competing and doing all these things. It's because they're treating their bodies very well and taking care of it. And it's not just what you're consuming. So you need to have your healthy fats, and you need to have your clean protein. You need to drink your water. You need to eat your fruit. Those all go into the melting pot and creating a very high octane level. But you need to recover. So I'm in the sauna at my house an hour every day. I'm in my Normatec boots, recovering, getting my legs massaged an hour a day. And I stick to that. Again, it's not selfish. I do it on times that's not taking away from my family. I do it at times that it's just for me. And I have to do that in order to continue to operate. Like, I have to run 14 miles tomorrow. Then I have a 4 mile the next day. And then I run a marathon on Friday. So it's like, it's wild that I even say that. I would never ever thought I would say this. Can't believe I'm fucking running like this. But if I don't eat the proper weight, if I don't eat and hydrate today for tomorrow, and then for Friday, I'm going to be a disaster. So, you have to be very strict with it. And there's going to be, and I want people to really understand this. You guys are doing the 75 hard, and it's just 75 days. But there's going to come to a point where you're not going to be able to do the 75 hard. And that's going to suck. And I always say that to myself when I'm on these long runs or these horrible workouts, or if I'm on a long photo shoot, or if I'm away from my family doing something. There's going to be a time when Brian Mazza is not going to be relevant anymore, and when Brian Mazza is not going to be able to run anymore, and or if I'm going to be hurt, or if I'm not going to be able to do something. So take advantage of it now, because you don't want to be that person who says, man, I wish I did that.
Regret.
Amen. Amen.
For sure, man.
When's your book coming out?
Well, I don't know if I even talked about that. So we're shopping it right now, with a bunch of publishing houses. So, we have some big calls Thursday and Friday. Hopefully we can land one, and then that it's rocking and rolling.
Nothing changes.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Brian. Hey, just real quick, I wanted to mention something. I'm actually coming. I'm traveling out of town today. I went to go see my oldest daughter run regionals in Texas. She's a cross country runner, and she's only a year and a half in from running, and she's just so inspiring, man. Like, just seeing the discipline that goes in day to day, and then see her perform today was amazing. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because we're talking about running here.
That's great. Congrats.
Thank you.
Excellent. Guys, anyone else want to jump in here while we have Brian? I want to be conscious of his time here. Any question? Russell, is that you raising your hand, buddy? Is that Russie raising? Get in here.
I wasn't raising my hand. I was stretching, but what's up, B? How are you, bro?
Hey, buddy.
How you been? Can't believe how big your kids are getting.
I know. You too, man.
It goes so fast. Dude, my little guy's a tank like yours. It's nuts. He's a maniac. Fucking maniac. But yeah, I mean, everything you're saying about just getting it in, it's what Jay and I were talking about earlier. Like on Sunday, I just didn't want to work out. I was tired. I just wanted to hang out with the kids. But just did it anyway.
It just takes that, you'll never regret a workout. Right? You'll never, ever regret it.
For sure.
Unless you come work out with me. But you'll never regret a workout.
I did that once. I regretted it. I almost died. So yeah.
You'll never regret. You'll always regret not doing it. But you just got to get that mental switch going. Once that switch is turned on, it's game on.
Do you listen to music? What typically?
That's an awesome.
Yeah, because for me,
I have a post. I have a post for Friday. I'm actually putting a link up to my marathon playlist, and you're going to be kind of blown away. You're not going to think what you're thinking what the music's going to be like. It's very calm, very slow music. It's
if you're trying to keep your heart rate at a certain place.
But I need to have music that I don't think about when I'm running.
So it's not hip hop.
Not hip hop. I can't feel like I'm going to just go shoot and attack people. I need to have music. I can't even listen to EDM or any of that crap because that'll just freak me out. It's I don't know if you guys ever heard of Stick Figure. It's a little kind of reggae-ish. There's very slow Linkin Park music, like the song My December. It's very emo-ish music. Harry Hudson, I don't know if you guys listen to him. He's awesome. Very, very awesome artist. So the music is very very, very light. And that's how, for me, I get into flow state. Like the other day when I was running my 18, I went from, I think it was 12 miles to 17 miles. And I looked at my watch. I don't look at my watch when I run. I keep it on my heart rate. And I was at mile 17. And I was I honestly felt like I blacked out for those 5 miles. It was really wild. You're just in that state. You don't even know what's going on. I was looking down, just looking at my feet running. Next thing I know is at mile 17. So this music helps me get into that flow state, which I'm very happy about.
And then if anybody else, if you have questions, raise your hand or jump in the chat before we wrap up here on sneakers and tattoos. Because what would a conversation with Brian Mazza be without sneakers and tattoos?
No.
I need those Atmos dunks that are dropping tomorrow. They're going to be impossible.
I just got these for the. Just got new sneakers today.
Shocker.
These Gore-Tex for the rain tomorrow.
Are those Zooms? Some sort of Zoom type?
These are Pegasus, Nike Trail Pegasus, waterproof.
What's your favorite pair of kicks?
I rocked
right
these today in honor of being on the call with you.
Oh, those are the best, right?
Yeah, these are
I don't even
great.
wear them because I don't want to get them all screwed up.
Yeah, they're sick. So comfortable.
So actually the Asics I posted today for this race I'm doing, they're really comfortable to run in, but I'm a Nike guy, through and through.
What are you running the 50 in?
So I'm going to run in the Vapor Next Percent. It's a fast running shoe. People would advise me not to run in them, but I feel very confident in them and comfortable in them. And I feel like I have good bounce in them. So I'm going to run that. I'll probably have like 2 to 3 pairs that day to change out. But those are by far my favorite running shoe.
And any new ink?
No, the lion tattoo on my leg for Lukey. I want to get some more, but it's one big negotiation at this household when I either have to like buy a bag or buy something when I want to defect my body. That's what they say. So I don't know.
That's amazing. When will you have the information for your 50-mile run?
This Friday, we're going to be launching it. If anyone is around, you're more than welcome to come support. I'm going to have the route this Thursday. We're mapping out the route. I'll probably have to wear a diaper because I'll be shitting my pants about it. But
I see Dina laughing. We've had a lot of diaper talk at the company recently, right?
All I do is change fucking diapers.
Yeah, you and me both, bro.
I'm past that. Amen. Like Jeff.
So if you guys on December 12th, if you're around, I'll be starting in Manhattan and making my way through the Bronx and into Westchester, and then deep into Westchester and back. So there'll be a lot more info on a landing page that'll be most likely dropped on Friday. But I'm filming content for it tomorrow, just to get my message around. But I know, I guess you're kicking me off here, but
no, go ahead.
What you guys are doing in 75 hard is really remarkable, and you need to understand that.
These guys are doing 30. They're doing the month of November. Yeah.
Okay, great. So
they're doing 75 hard January 1.
Doing shit. 30 days, you guys aren't doing shit. No. You guys doing the 30 days, it is really remarkable. Anyway, even if you're doing a week. So your 30 days, you're making a commitment to yourself, and there's only one of you, right? You're not going to come back. I hate to break you guys all the news if something goes bad. So there's only one time to do this. You have one life to live, and during this pandemic, this is the time to really become the best version of yourself, to reinvent yourself, to pivot, to figure out what you're going to do next in order to make a positive impact, not just in this world, but for yourself in order to be a positive impact for other people around you. So stay positive during this time. Don't allow people with their negative thoughts and actions to, hinder you from being the best version of yourself. Get in the zone. Get in the tunnel vision. And the tunnel vision, when people say you have tunnel vision, it's usually negative. But this tunnel vision is going to lead you to such great feats and accomplishments that you won't even understand right now. So those tough times that you want to eat something or go have a drink or not do a workout, you have to constantly motivate yourself, and you have to just fight through it. And when you do those 30 days, even when you do those 21 days, it'll start building habits through that time. And if you're doing the 75 like Jay, you'll start seeing remarkable benefits on the mental health side of things that you won't even understand. When my house burned down this January, that next day I went for a run. And people might say, bro, you're wild, and that's crazy. And I said, no, this is something that's non-negotiable for me. This is something that keeps me sharp, something that's going to keep me on top of my game. We got contractors the day after, we got insurance all sorted out, and we started to rebuild as soon as we could. And I really, truly account that to, yes, a lot, my wife being a savage and handling a lot of it, but me being in the right mind space in order to operate during stressful times. So you're doing yourself amazing justice by doing this. Hopefully you continue past the 30, but stay strong and don't let anybody make fun of you. If they do, just let it go, because they're going to follow you very soon.
Love that. That's so true. And B, last thing, well, first off, thank you for the accountability. You don't even know it, but just simply watching you and following along helps me motivate and push myself. And obviously that has a ripple effect. And, that these people are doing, we're all supporting each other, which is an amazing thing. Jeff asked in the chat, Brian, who inspires you right now?
There's a lot of people that inspire me. My wife inspires me. My kids inspire me. But this doesn't sound crazy. When I wake up and look in the mirror, I'm inspired. I'm inspired that I'm able to go out and crush it today. I've done so much soul searching over these past 3 years of my life, that yes, I owe it to my kids to be the best version. I owe it to my wife and my friends and family and stuff, but I owe it to myself. And I think that's where it starts. It starts within. I motivate myself. Because I know tomorrow I can get hit by a fucking car in a run and it could be over. I know tomorrow I could get cancer and then these days are going to be limited. So I owe it to myself to be the best fucking version every single day and run through fucking walls in order to be great. And that's what motivates me. It motivates me to just be great and try to strive for that. So me.
Love that. And you are being great. And thank you for the continued motivation, man. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. We're going to support you. I need, so just the model wearing that "Nothing Changes If Nothing Changes" shirt is wearing a medium.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. All right, thanks so much.
All right, bye.
Cause this is digital discussions.